That's how we're starting off the show. Welcome to GrayGAMR. This is Frank, joined by my friend Jinx and Cowboy Bot. How you doing, guys?
Yo. Hey, what's up, man?
Yeah, he's don't mind. There'll be some random cursing and shouting going on. He's playing some Battlefield as we play Division. We're gonna talk about current state of the game and upcoming Overwatch hype. I was really a big fan of Division. I still want to love the Division. I think it has some great mechanics. Cowboy here has summed it up by calling the game the Tom Clancy The Disappointment. And you know, it is a good title for the game. I can't hate on it as much. I still enjoy it. I think it's a good game. It's just
See, that's because you're a fanboy, Frank.
it possibly no. Listen, it is what it is.
No, we all fanboy over stuff, and you know, I'm trying to say it as objectively as possible. But you know, yeah, there's nothing wrong with being a fanboy. There's absolutely nothing. We're all fanboys. It's just, you know, Destiny kind of prepped us for a lot, and so you know, burn me once, you know. Shame on you, burn me twice.
Yeah.
Why do I keep buying Ubisoft games?
Yeah, I mean, you know what it is?
It's just so much easier.
It's. I mean, if we talk about the current state of the game, Division it's like it was really good leveling. The missions were a lot of fun, but then it plateaus, and it almost feels like it plateaus hard, and it feels like the more you play it, the more you get punished. Because with the incursion that they released and the gear scores, it's like it's really not that easy to get better gear than I already have. So why do I keep revisiting this game? And that's a question I ask myself. You know, I'm at gear score 209 right now. You know, I haven't been running the challenging incursion. I'm not gonna lie, the incursion, the very first one they put in, it's boring. I mean, it's like
boring.
It's challenging for no reason, and it's not a fun challenging. It's just like, okay, we're gonna throw a bunch of ridiculous. We're gonna throw a bunch of enemies with shotguns that have the range of sniper guns at you, and they can one-shot your whole team, and there's no save point. So you're gonna have to restart all 15 waves. You know,
Let's make
it
sure
sucks.
that instead of bullet sponges, we just make these guys bullet loofahs, and they just take so much damage. But and then, dude, you're not even touching on just how it's so not in favor of the player. I mean, remember when they found out that the damage from elite stat was reversed? So,
Yep.
you know, this one stat that you'd stack to reduce damage from elite mobs, which the incursion is nothing but. Like, you'd be like, yeah, sweet, I'm at 30%, I'm at 30% protection from elites. You actually took 30% more damage.
Yeah, instead of mitigating the damage, you took extra. And it's funny because before we did the incursion, I started stacking that stat. I was like, alright, I want to be tanky, I'm going to be the one that's going to do it. And then all of a sudden, I stacked all this armor with this stat, and then we went in to do the Dark Zone, and I was like, why the fuck am I getting killed with one hit from level 31 Dark Zone enemies? I was like, that doesn't make sense. I was like, did something change? And it was just that the stat on the armor was glitched, so you had to get rid of it. But to be fair, they are trying to improve some stuff. Upcoming patch coming out this Tuesday. Don't mind, I'm just gonna stop doing my daily right now to look at some of the changes that are coming. I have it on a list right here. The issues that they are addressing is that they said, number one, loot drops do not feel rewarding due to rare upgrades and low gear score. Very true. Two sources of the best gear currently limited to challenging mode incursion. Also, you know what, that's another thing before I continue. The hard mode incursion, Done it several times. It's not bad. It's not so punishing. It's doable. It only takes like maybe like an hour if you have a pickup group and you power through it. But the gear that drops from the hard mode incursion currently is lower than the stuff you can craft. So it's like, what's the point of even doing it? You know?
So are you telling me the risk versus reward is just no? It's just not,
Yeah.
not balanced?
Well, currently, yes. The third thing they're going to address is that crafting is still the best source of weapons, and 204 weapons loot drops are very rare. They said number 4 is Dark Zone drops often do not match the gear score of the player. And 5 is supply drops in Dark Zone are very underwhelming, which is true, because when the supply drops happen, you go, you collect it, you're hoping to get this great gear, and sometimes you get a blue or a purple that's fucking trash. You're just going to break it down for mats anyway, which... you always need mats, but what am I crafting? There's not even any really new blueprints coming out. So what they are adding in is they're adding in these dailies and weekly assignments that will give you high value targets around the PvE map. A lot of this stuff is PvE oriented, which I actually like because I play PvE more than I play PvP in this game. So what they do is daily you'll go to your mission board and there'll be high value targets that you can locate, and you get one shot to basically go at it. If you fail trying to kill them, they're gone. But they will the high value target is supposedly guaranteed to drop a 182 high end or 214 gear set. The high value target for the weekly, that was the daily, by the way. The weekly has a chance to drop a 182 high end, a 214 gear set, and a chance to drop a 214 gear set. They already said that. They just wrote it twice. And it has a chance to drop a 204 high end as well. They also said that they're increasing the high-end drops from challenge mode missions. They said that bosses will drop 2 182 high-ends and a chance to drop a 214 gear set, which is pretty good. I mean, I still farm. Every week I farm my 1,000 bird coins and I waste it on the weapon just to have it, just for fuck's sakes. And sometimes I break it down for mats and it was a waste of 1,000 coins, but what else am I doing in this game? The good thing is that the hard mode for the incursion will now drop a 204 high-end weapon and a 214 gear set, which is good. I'm looking forward to that because right now the hard mode incursion only drops 190 gear sets and 182 weapons, and in order to get that 204 you got to do the challenge mode. So those are some major improvements. Again, they're putting some new weapons in the game. They're putting in some new they're putting in 4 new gear sets. There's no word on what they really will do or what the perks for having that gear set will be. But let's see. I mean, unfortunately, if you look at the game, I mean, I play on PS4, so there's still a good community playing this game. But when you look at the PC, statistics show that the player base has dropped 81% since launch. The game has only been out for what? Like, we're reaching the second month? That's not good.
Consoles have the disadvantage of the popularity of a game will fluctuate based on releases. And it doesn't matter what releases they are. We were high up in the Division and or not Division, excuse me, when we were playing Destiny, and Elder Scrolls came out, much free to play. Completely different, but still affected population.
Yeah.
What you have going on here is going to be a lot of the same thing, where PC, you have all the games to distract you with, so, it's got to be good to keep your attention. Here, it's, we're held hostage by the fact that we don't have such variety.
Here's the other thing that's going to lead us away from talking about the Division. The new patch drops Tuesday, the 24th, and the incursion and all this new stuff.
Day, right?
Oh, the day I've been looking forward to for weeks.
I think you mentioned something about that. That's Easter, right?
It's definitely it feels like a holiday to me, and that's because it's gonna be the release of Blizzard's highly anticipated, highly successful in the beta at least, Overwatch, and honestly, as much as I'm a fanboy of The Division and I like the game, I can tell you right now, I will not be touching the new content that drops from this game for probably a few weeks until I, you know, because
you can't. I mean, you saw how polished the beta was. You saw how the gameplay was. Everything that Blizzard was showing us. I mean, let's be real here. The beta wasn't necessarily for finding bugs per se, as much as like, hey, all that shit that you're putting up with now, look what you don't have to put up with. And they showed us a polished Blizzard game.
Yep.
And that's all they had to do was just they could have showed us, you know, shit on a stick that's polished with the Blizzard tag on it, and we'd be like, this is the best shit on a stick we've ever seen.
Well,
so,
to be fair, to give Blizzard credit where credit is due, especially in terms of Overwatch. I mean, this is the first-person shooter that they are releasing, and even though Blizzard's been around for decades, and that they release nothing but quality products. Well, I mean, all right, Diablo 3's release was questionable in the beginning, but they fixed it, it still has a tremendous player base, still a really great game, but Blizzard's.
I hated when he took away their auction.
Well, that was you, and you were the only person I knew that made
thousands of dollars.
You were the only person making money off of it, you know?
Yeah, you.
I didn't get any made any money. All I did was I made the money that I paid for the game. So I didn't make
you're like a modern day alchemist, man. Instead of turning lead into gold, you turn turbo nerds into money.
Nice.
Whatever it does, man.
But
special power, man.
It is.
Actually, you know what? To be honest with you, I don't like that thing because you know what? It doesn't take a nerd. A nerd would not try to make money off of it. Opportunity for
No, he's saying that you made money off of the nerds who were willing to spend money on the items.
Yeah, man.
That's not true either. Because the nerd would not even spend money on it.
You're right.
Some ass kids are like, yeah, come on.
That's why we call them turbo nerds.
I want that gun. I want that ring, but I don't want to put in 16 hours of work to get it.
Well, the thing was that it wasn't really work. It was just, you know, praying that you didn't die for like 3 hours straight. You know, because there was no system to grind.
There was no system to grind. You're right.
Time to play Act 3 again.
There is. Frank, there is. It's called trains.
Well, that's why you're a master of it, you know?
Oh, no. I'm just an opportunist. I'm just wanting to keep them.
So, but back onto what I was saying, you know, Blizzard, it's their first-person shooter, and it played better than most companies that have been making first-person shooters for over a decade, you know? I mean, it's... The game delivered on every aspect. The team play, the characters, even the... Listen, we were just talking before we started the sharing.
I love the characters.
The backstories, those shorts, they're as good as they come.
What you also have there is just... The characters are so well done. I'm talking from a technical animation standpoint. To me, I've always loved characters that actually have character in their movement. You know, where the character is their movement and how their personality is as much of the character as their model and their design. Every single character there. I don't know if Blizzard wanted to do this on purpose or if they just hit the lottery, but I love every single character in that game. I think they're all
unique.
Yeah. And what's funny about the game is the characters that I originally saw and I was like, yeah, this is going to be the character I'm going to use, they weren't the character that I wound up using. After playing through, the characters I did best with and I wound up having the most fun with were characters that I'd probably never play in a normal, you know, first-person shooter in any game, because they weren't like, they didn't look cool. Like, my favorite character so far are probably Zarya, you know, the female Russian with the pink hair, the strong chick, And May is incredibly fun to play with her ice abilities. And Lucio too. Lucio's fantastic.
I'm a little bit miffed that you don't like the dwarf.
Oh, he's no. I mean, I actually did incredibly well with him. He was good.
Maybe I'm a camper at heart, but that dwarf, I can own some bones with it, man.
Yeah, and you know, I mean, well, all the characters, they all have a place, and they have a play style, and they're all unique. And I can't say that any of them were boring to play.
You know what's interesting? What Blizzard has said about the characters is, you know, take Team Fortress 2, right? Mm-hmm. You have classes, and you have, you know, someone will sit there and be like, yeah, man, my main's a pyro. That's all you know, my clan squad, that's all I take. I'm the guy doing pyro stuff. Mm-hmm. Overwatch is different. Blizzard doesn't want you to main. They want you to get good with several guys so that you, because the battlefield shifts. What the enemy brings out versus what's already out there is constantly shifting. So if you're only taking out using one guy, you're going to be a bigger detriment to your team than if you had 3 or 4.
Yep, that is true. That is very true. But yeah, so, you know, I mean, so Overwatch comes out Tuesday. We all know this. Like I said, I'm definitely looking forward to it. What Blizzard did say was that the release of the game is, we're getting what they showed us in beta, nothing more. They're delivering the game as polished as possible. It's not going to have ranked play until later down the line, but they did say, there was a quote, they said, come the summertime, there is going to be a lot of content thrown at us. And, they didn't say what it would be. I'm assuming it's going to be new maps, and probably it's probably also going to be the ranked play and ranked mode, ladders, all that stuff. This is just speculation on my part. And one of the things I'm hoping is new characters. If you watch, I'm a super nerd, so I was watching Winston's story, his little short, and at the point when he hits recall, you know, Overwatch recall, to call of the Overwatch agents, actually I went frame by frame on my computer and I looked, and there's a ton of characters that aren't in the game, not going to be released. Now some of them, you know, are just generic sketches. You could tell by their look that they're not going to be, you know, major characters or anything like that. But some of the characters looked really cool and have tons of potentials. There's also some other sketches that are going around. Right after the closed beta ended, there was a survey that Blizzard sent, asking people what they thought about it, blah blah. And there were some character art on the survey of characters that do not exist. One of them, which made me super hyped for, was a... Oop, I'm gonna get killed there. Alright, there we go. One of them was a dude wearing a hazmat suit with a gun that had 4 canisters on it. And I'm all about having a character with AoE gas abilities. Or actually, our good friend Rich, he had a good point of view. He was like, that might not be gas. That might be a flamethrower, a fire suit to counter May's ice. And I was like, you know what? Actually, that's a good way to look at it. Again, all speculation. But if there's someone with flamethrowers or flame type abilities, bring it on, baby. I'm all game. Yep. So, you know, once Tuesday comes, I'm sure I'll be streaming lots of footage of us. The whole gang is getting it. We're definitely gonna be playing lots of that. You know, and that's it. Blizzard delivers polished games. I'm really looking forward to it. You know, if you guys have any, you know, ideas or any speculation that you want to talk about, leave it up in the chat. And that's all I really wanted to touch on for this episode. So hopefully we will talk to you soon. And I will pick it up again Tuesday when the new content drops. And we will see you guys soon. Peace out.
Later.